Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're looking at something that honestly feels like a real shakeup in how we use the internet. We're sort of moving beyond just, typing things into a search bar. Our sources today are all focused on Comet, this new browser from Perplexity AI. And our mission really is to understand how this thing, this intelligent browser, is aiming to completely rewrite what a browser does for you.
Exactly. That's the core idea, isn't it? Comet isn't just another piece of software hitting the market. It feels more like a statement. It's pushing for a fundamental change, taking browsing from just passively finding links to, well, actively thinking, organizing, even doing things for you. It
Yeah.
really wants to be this AI partner.
Okay, and just the basics for everyone listening. Comet is AI powered. It's built on Chromium, so that familiar base is there. And it launched globally back in July 2024. And it's free. All right, let's unpack this. Why does Perplexity think this approach, this architecture, is the future for how we live online?
So the first big term we keep seeing is AI first. That sounds a bit like marketing, but is there real substance there? Oh, absolutely. It's not just jargon. It points to how it was built, fundamentally.
Yeah.
Think about it. Most browsers we use today, their core design is maybe 20 years old. AI features got, well, bolted on much later. Comet was designed from the ground up with AI as its core operating system. So the whole application is meant to understand context, understand what you're trying to do, not just the text in a search box.
Right. So if the foundation is different, what does that actually feel like for someone using it? How is it more than just, say, Chrome or Firefox?
Well, it stops being just a tool for fetching web pages and becomes more of a knowledge creator. A standard browser just shows you the page. An AI-first browser like Comet, though, it synthesizes information. It can help draft things, compare products for you, manage tasks that take multiple steps. So instead of you clicking through endless tabs, the browser is designed to kind of work with you on the information itself.
That idea, moving from a passive tool to an active collaborator, that's all about reducing the mental effort, right? Taking stuff off your plate. And if the goal is making the browser feel like part of your thinking process, then efficiency has to be key.
Yeah.
This is where things get really interesting, especially if you're focused on getting more done.
Yeah, this is where Comet really leans into being a personal web agent. The automation features described in the sources, they go way beyond just filling in your address. We're talking about handling complex sequences of tasks autonomously.
Okay, give us some specifics. What can this agent actually do?
Well, let's start with something common, like shopping online.
Yeah.
For e-commerce, it can apparently compare products across, loads of different retailers. It can read and synthesize customer reviews from multiple sites, not just give you a summary, but really pull the key insights together. And then if you okay it, it can actually complete the entire checkout process for you. Just think about the time saved, not manually juggling 15 tabs for price checking and review hunting.
Wow, that's incredibly powerful. But it does raise a pretty deep question, doesn't it? If the browser is summarizing reviews and picking the best option based on its analysis, aren't you kind of delegating your own judgment, maybe even trust, to the AI?
That's exactly the strategic point here. You are outsourcing that detailed diligence work. The user has to trust that the AI's synthesis is accurate and hopefully unbiased. Comet's long-term success really hangs on proving it can handle those complex comparisons reliably. It's not just managing workflows, it's managing delegation.
And delegation comes up with communication too, right? That's another huge time drain for so many of us.
Absolutely. The agent can help manage emails, both coming in and going out. It's designed to draft replies that actually fit the context, understanding the email thread's history, adjusting tone, and beyond that, it can create these daily briefing summaries of your commitments, pulling info automatically from different calendars or project tools you might use.
Okay, so the key to making all of this work smoothly, especially when you've got lots of different things open, it must be understanding the context. Like, I often have, 10 tabs open, all related to one project, but not explicitly linked. How does Comet manage that?
What's fascinating here, and pretty innovative, is this feature they call at tab. This seems to be the mechanism for keeping track of your whole session. Say you have 5 tabs open, maybe 3 research articles, a draft you're writing, and an email. You can ask the AI assistant a question, and it's designed to pull relevant info and see connections across all those tabs no matter which one you're currently looking at. It basically maintains awareness of your entire active workspace.
Okay, moving past the wow features for a second. Users always have practical worries when thinking about switching browsers. Things like, security, speed, and just the hassle of moving everything over.
Right, and Comet seems designed to tackle those concerns head on. starting with trust and privacy.
Yeah, data privacy is huge, especially if an AI is handling checkouts or drafting emails. How does Comet protect your data?
The main thing they emphasize is local processing. For a lot of the really sensitive stuff, the data stays on your computer. It's not constantly being sent off to external servers. That's a pretty solid privacy protection. Plus, Comet is built to be ad-free. It blocks ads automatically and gives you different levels of tracking protection, putting you more in control of your digital footprint.
Local processing sounds great for privacy, but I have to push back a bit here. Does keeping things local create limitations? Like, what if the AI needs real-time global info or needs to access a massive cloud model for really complex writing tasks? Is there a trade-off?
That's a fair point, and it's a real engineering balancing act. The design clearly prioritizes privacy first. While yes, some cloud interaction is likely needed for certain generative tasks or pulling up to the minute data, the idea is to keep the sensitive personal interactions happening locally on your device. The data for comparisons like product specs or general knowledge can be fetched and processed quickly, but the personal info needed to, say, buy something stays put.
Okay. And that ad-free, local-first environment, it must make things faster, right? But the sources mention 30 to 40% productivity improvements. That sounds enormous. Is that just what some users are saying, or is there more to it?
It seems to be a mix. Anecdotally, people report pages loading faster simply because there aren't ads and trackers bogging things down. That makes sense. The productivity claim seems tied more to the reduced cognitive load, the idea that because the AI handles context switching and routine research, you're just more efficient. User studies apparently back this up, so it's likely a combination of raw speed, fewer distractions, and the automation kicking in.
All right, let's say the performance is genuinely better. The biggest hurdle is still often just switching. We get used to our tools. How easy is it for someone who's maybe used Chrome for 10 years to move over?
They seem to have thought that through pretty well. First off, Comet is fully compatible with Chrome extensions, so you don't lose all those little tools you rely on. The actual migration process is designed to be almost instantly. It intelligently imports your bookmarks, passwords, settings, all that stuff. And importantly, the AI assistant lives in this persistent side panel. It's always there if you need it, but it doesn't take over your screen or interrupt what you're doing, makes the transition feel less abrupt, more gradual.
Okay, now let's zoom out a bit. Comet isn't launching in a vacuum. It's jumping right into what people are calling the AI browser wars. It's getting crowded fast.
It really is a hot space right now.
Yeah.
You've got the established players like Google adding AI features like Gemini into their existing browsers, and then you have other AI-native approaches emerging like maybe OpenAI's Operator project or agents from Anthropic. It's definitely competitive.
So what really sets Comet apart from, say, Google's approach? Gemini is powerful, sure, but it still feels kind of like an add-on to search, doesn't it?
I think that's the crucial difference they're aiming for. Google and others started with search. Their AI is mostly about getting you better answers. Comet positions itself as browser first. It's an active agent focused on doing things within your workflow. It understands your open tabs. It wants to execute tasks, not just hand you links or summaries. That browser-centric, agent-like focus seems to be their unique selling proposition.
And speaking of competition, our sources mentioned this really bold move by Perplexity, something that shows they're not just playing the game, they want to change the rules entirely.
Yes. The reported $34.5 billion unsolicited bid to acquire Google Chrome back in 2025. That was, well, staggering. It wasn't just for show, I don't think. It was a direct challenge to Google's whole business model. Chrome is how Google distributes search, which is how they make money from ads. Trying to buy Chrome was basically Perplexity saying, we want to control the gateway to the internet and disrupt how everything works.
Right.
We showed massive ambition.
And clearly, there was huge interest, millions reportedly on the waitlist before launch. So if the browser is free, how do they sustain that kind of ambition? What's the business model here?
It seems to center on quality and trust. They offer a premium subscription, Comet Plus. And the big draw for Plus is exclusive access to content summarized from trusted publishers, reputable sources. The bet is that in an era of questionable online info, people will pay for reliable, verified synthesis to help them make smarter decisions faster.
Makes sense. And looking just ahead, what's coming next for Comet? What's on their immediate roadmap?
Expansion and more capabilities seem to be the focus. First, a mobile launch is apparently coming very soon. That'll bring the same features, including voice commands and the ad-free experience, to phones and tablets. Second, they're working on enhanced automation. The idea is to have these background assistants that can handle multiple complex tasks at the same time, reducing your mental workload even further.
And doubling down on that quality angle through partnerships.
Exactly. They're expanding their publisher partnerships.
Mm.
The sources mention names like CNN, The Washington Post, Le Monde. This really reinforces their strategy. Move beyond just scraping the open web and provide answers grounded in verified professional journalism and content.
So, what does this all mean, really? At its core, Comet seems to be about changing your relationship with your browser, with your digital tools. It's trying to end this decades long pattern of us being passive information hunters and instead give you back that mental energy for more important strategic thinking. The promise is making better choices faster.
Yeah, if we connect this to the bigger picture, it's about delegating that complex, often tedious digital labor. Comet aims to help you make smarter decisions by giving you synthesized information, comparisons, and that constant context awareness instantly. It feels like another step towards technology truly serving complex human needs, not just simple ones.
Which leaves us, and you, with a final thought to chew on. If an AI browser can now reliably handle complex tasks, autonomously synthesizing reviews, completing purchases, drafting emails, contextually, basically taking over routine digital work, what higher level strategic thinking, what creative work are you now freed up to focus on?
What really becomes the next frontier for human value is it creativity, innovation, complex problem solving, interpersonal strategy. When all that digital grunt work gets handed off to an intelligent assistant, it really forces a recalibration of what we consider valuable human time.